How's everybody doing? My name's Mike, and we got Mr. Maverick with us today. So, Maverick, he's a Goldendoodle. He has actually been with me before when he was a puppy. He was with me, and he learned basic obedience and pretty much everything that we train the dogs here, which is really how to communicate with the owner. We teach them, how to accept affection, and the meaning of no is really what we teach them. So to make a long story short, he's back with me because the owner and him experienced, they had a couple of dogs run up to him while they were on the walk. They charged them and they bit them. So it was a pretty traumatic experience for the owner and the dog. But as far as the dog, we want to kind of put that out of our mind. And what I want to start doing with him now is I want to start showing him that, not every dog is going to attack him when he's out on the walk. So that is the whole idea. Now when the dog goes outside, the big complaint is when the dog goes outside, he's more on the hunt, kind of looking, waiting for that to happen, more anxiety. So he's been with me for a couple days, so we've gotten him back in. We've cleaned up some of the little bad habits that he has. I don't expect it to be perfect with the owners because it's a highly nuanced thing we're doing when we're training a dog and working with a live animal. There's a lot to know and a lot to practice. So I don't expect it to be perfect. So what I get to do with him this time, which is actually nice, is I get to take him a lot further since he already knows how to stand by my side like this and not just push forward. As you see the first day with every dog at my place, the dog is wild on the leash. They really don't know what to do. I have to walk back and forth just to teach them leash pressure, just to teach them to do this and not pull the leash. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to teach him is when I notice when I walk with him, sometimes if I walk with him, if I don't say anything to him, he'll just do that, right? So if we are correcting the dog for getting in front of us, hey, see that? That's a correction for not stopping. Heel. See how he learned? So that's what you have to do every day, heel. So that's the exercise that has to be done every day. As we walk, if the dog goes to get in front of me, I give him a correction. That's how he learns to stay back, heel. Now, the reason this is so important is because if I'm walking outside here, and let him sit in the shade, if I'm walking outside with him and he sees another dog and he believes he's allowed to get in front of me, you are no longer the leader. The second that dog steps in front of you, or even if he's back here but he believes he can get in front of me at any time he wishes, then he is the leader. He is the one who will defend against any threat coming at you, and he will also believe anytime there's another dog that may come your way that he must defend. He must decide what happens with that dog because he will physically be the first one to encounter the dog because he is physically first on the walk. So like I said, the owner did a pretty good job with the dog, but what we want to do is just clean up some of this stuff. When we walk, obviously the dog believes with the owner when he walks that he can step in front. So what we want to do is our correction is what's keeping him here. So if I ask him to heel, I correct him before he passes this area. If I let the dog pass this area and get out of the heel position, now I have to somehow get the dog back to the heel position. If I correct the dog before he ever leaves the heel position, now I don't have to drag him back to a position or figure out a way to get him back because he never left the position. So that's very powerful, and this is very important to correct the dog at a boundary. You have to have structure with them. We have to set a boundary. Heel. So as I walk with them, I will correct them just like that as he goes to rush. All right, and same thing if he goes too far out to make the leash taut, I will give him a correction. And what happens at first, there's a lot of corrections. There's a lot of walking with the dog and correcting the dog. Heel. And people kind of get weird about it because they feel like, oh, I'm correcting the dog before the dog has done anything. And yes, that's correct, because the dog's brain has gone to a place where he's going to go ahead and move forward, and you want to correct that. And same thing right now, what you're seeing, if he keeps looking that way, I'm not going to pull and fight with him. I'm going to go the opposite way. We're not gonna allow the dog to look in another direction when we're walking. He should be looking forward as we walk, but right now what's happening is the dogs learn to hunt on the walk. So when we walk with the dog, it's not just when someone's there we need to do this. This has to happen when no one's around all the time. The dog cannot be allowed to get in front of me or even be looking this way. We correct for that. If the dog is allowed to look that way, if his head goes that way, his body will eventually go in that direction. So over the next few weeks, this is how we get them to calm down and not have all this movement and not believe they can move in front of us, is we start correcting them for all this, all the looking around and stuff like that.